that spit all over your face. It's caca. You got like slime all over your snout, dog. How come? It's unladylike to have all that over you. You don't know that? Stinky dog. Stinky dog. Oh, look at that sky. How pretty that is. Gosh, that's awesome. That is awesome. Look at that sky, Allie. It's beautiful. Come here, dog. There's Allie the mountain dog, and we are hitting it high elevation snow country on this kind of ugly day. Pretty much guaranteed we're going to get snowed on today. Oh yeah, it's coming, and we are prepared. Rocking the MSR Denali Ascent snowshoes. I've had these for a number of years. Might do a review on them as we go. Allie's wearing her pack, doing her part to carry her stuff. Hey dog, you want to go test some knives? Maybe an axe or two? You want to do that? So yeah, Dad, let's go do that. Let's go test a couple knives up in the clinic, girlfriend. She's going to get tired in this deep snow. Sometimes your dog just doesn't know how to meter their energy. They start off real strong. Next thing you know, they're exhausted by the end of a long hiking day, which this will be for us. It's going to be a lot of work just doing what we're going to do when we get to the knife clinic. Hiking is especially laborious. For one, and as usual, let me swing this around. I'm carrying a lot of steel with me. A lot of knives, a 2.5 pound axe, other stuff, camera equipment. It's a lot. And I'm alone today. Not really alone, because I got you guys with me, which is very cool. But to make this happen with the amount of time I did, or amount of time I have, I got to kind of come up when I can. I don't mind coming out like this alone with my dog sometimes. And don't worry, I'm not in avalanche country right here. There are some steep areas where we're going. I avoid those though. I make sure that I'm not going to be in a fall area. It's a good way to die. Allie taking a dump over there. Awesome. Came up earlier without my snowshoes, thinking this area didn't have that much snow. Oh, how wrong I was. 4 feet of snow I'm on top of, maybe more in places. And I was post holing all the way up to my thighs. Needless to say, I didn't make it far. It's a good way to jack your leg up, your knee up, blow out a tendon too, post holing in deep snow. You gotta have snowshoes. These again, if I didn't say so, MSR Denali Ascent. My favorite snowshoe I've ever used. I'll probably do a short review up here sometime. They absolutely rock. Extremely durable, at least in my times in using them. Every snowshoe can break on you with hard use. Allie, of course, does not have snowshoes, as you can see her post holing. But she has web feet, which help a little bit. I don't put doggy boots on her, so she can use those web feet a little bit for flotation. She's wearing her Kelty chuck wagon dog pack, carrying just a few items today. And now we got to get serious. Going up a long ascent through that. And we always bust off trail to get to the Nutnfancy knife clinic. This is the original knife clinic I showed you guys like 2 years ago. And we're gonna go up there. Check it out. Love that place, so beautiful. It's isolated, secluded, no one's up there. No one ever goes there. No, I'm not gonna tell you where it's at. You laying some more cheese over there, dog? Apparently. Goodness sakes. Let's get to work. God, these snowshoes rock. Dog, if you're smart, yeah, you are. Walk in my my snowshoe places that I've compact. God, you smell like doo-doo, dog. You teabag that over here. So you like trailing it? It's nasty. Gosh. Dogs are gross. Come on, this way. God, I'm still smelling it. Did you like... Seriously, dog, did you crap on yourself? Here, stupid. Get over here. You get behind me. You're gonna wear yourself out. Let me go first. You, nope, stay. You stay. Stay right there, stupid. Okay, follow me. That's the way. Rocking the REI Ultralight poles too. They're awesome. They're awesome, made by Comperdell. Oh, lots of trail miles on mine. Alright, there's about a 400-yard ascent up that ridge. Dog finally got smart and started going in my trail. Yeah, follow me so she doesn't have to trailblaze in deep powder. Damn. Dead airspace management. That's what I'm doing now. Generate a lot of heat, so I ventilate. Still leaving the Gore-Tex parka on. This is a Moonstone that I've had for over a decade. Still works great. Pit zips are open. Doing everything I can to minimize my moisture buildup in the jacket. You can always tell when someone really doesn't know what they're doing when they come out and hike in snowy conditions because they bundle up. It's like, you know, they're going out in 80 below zero or something. You don't need that. All I'm wearing now, dudes, no fleece. I'm just wearing my jacket, a tee, and the Gore-Tex. And the only reason I'm wearing the Gore-Tex is for moisture protection. I don't want to get soaked to the skin. You can see the snow's coming down. More heavy now, and I think it's going to really increase here. That's what the forecast calls for. And that's awesome. Bring it. Be a great test for everything I want to show you guys today. Oh yeah. So minimize the best you can your moisture buildup, whether it's coming from your own skin, exterior sources like this, and don't think you're going to completely minimize it. You won't. In these conditions, you will get wet. It's unavoidable. I do every time, no matter what kind of Gore-Tex I'm wearing like this. It just happens. All you can do is, you know, basically minimize it as best you can. Not too worried about dog. She's a lab. She's built for these conditions. And I acclimate her to these conditions as well. What you think of this snow, dog? You like it? Got to protect this camera though, it's not waterproof. These snowshoes freaking rock. God, it's a good feeling. Just floating over like multiple feet of snow. Oh yeah, look at that snow now, dudes. Yeah, awesome. It's a great day to get out. And a lot of people, Miss Nutnfancy was even saying that. She's been with me how many years? She goes, why are you going out today? I'm like, this is a perfect day to get out. Perfect day to go test gear, talk about concepts of layering and ventilation, survival, fire making, tool use. Really, it couldn't be better. Just a beautiful day. That's the way, girlfriend. You follow my tracks. Smart dog. She'll get it. You can tell this is deep snow. Look how far I'm sinking in with snowshoes. With, I believe, 8-inch flotation tails on these MSR Denali ascents too. It's a mountain lake off in the distance. Awesome. Part that sucks about being alone, no cameraman, you're it. That blows. Okay, dog, just a little bit further. Almost to the top of the ridge. Move. You're post holing, dummy. Let me go first. Stay. You stay right there. Notice the difference tone. I gotta tell her when I'm serious. Quit it. Stay. Okay, follow me. Dummy. Snow is deep. Voila! Here we are. March 2010, the Nutnfancy Knife Clinic. Snow coming down. High in the Rocky Mountains. Man, this place is beautiful. Look at that, the snow. Dogness loves it. She loves playing in the snow. This is the same place you guys saw in summertime conditions. Probably about 2 years now, coming up on 2 years. It's been a while since we've come here. It's a great place to test blades. I've got a lot of dead wood back up in these forests. I can haul back here. It's actually a flat spot for camping. If you want to do that, we may do some shelter stuff if I have time, which I doubt I will. It's just an awesome place. One of my favorite places to come, really. I call this place the Sound of Music Meadow, actually. It just reminds me of that part in the movie, The Sound of Music. How pretty it was. Can't see it now with the snow coming down. But that view out there, I mean, I may roll a picture in here during the summertime. It's just astounding. On par with pretty much any other beautiful alpine view that I've seen in my life. It's time to get to work, dog. It's kind of a workout coming up, huh? Yes, a good girl. All right, breaking down the pack system. There's a Trail Boss cold steel camp axe I hope to test. A few more knives inside, and we're gonna just be making a fire maybe. There's Allie on her camp pad I brought up for her. Weighs just a couple ounces and it gives her a comfortable place to sit down. Why make your dog suffer when you don't have to? See how the snow is coming in her face like this? That's kind of obnoxious, so it's time to put her hood on too. One I kind of customized for her. They came with her rain jacket. And I forget what brand of rain jacket that is. I'll show you later on. Good girl. That's better, huh, dog? Kind of gives you a little head shelter there. The way I customize this, by the way, I was going to tell you, Fido's brand of rain gear for your dog. I like it. I think it does have a semi-permeable membrane in it. Not Gore-Tex, maybe a knockoff. We've been using it for many years and she loves it. I didn't like the hood though because it wasn't stiff, and so what I did is sewed some very thin closed cell foam in it. Like you see, that's all my sewing. Seam sealed it on the exterior so water wouldn't penetrate, just like we're using right now. And what that does, it gives her a stiff hood so she can look out of. Before it was a flopping hood and it was not functional really for her. This is much better. It looks a little bit ridiculous, but it's functional and it keeps her comfortable. So she's gonna chill out while I get to work up there in the woods. Hauling some wood. Let's get going. Let's see if we can find a good candidate for chopping. We gotta make sure it's absolutely dead. And I want something vertical standing for the test. There's a little one over there. That would be too easy. There's one right there. Look at this bad boy. That's definitely dead. No signs of life, peeling bark. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's our candidate right there. Let's see, our fall looks like it's going to go uphill right there. It's already leaning. There you go, girlfriend, that's our test right there. Let's get on it. Okay, dudes, Trail Boss by Cold Steel, a very representative, high-value camp axe made by their subsidiary, the American Tomahawk Company. Haven't used it yet. This will be the first time. By the way, that's my strap I put over the blade guard, because if you don't have something on there, that blade guard is going to come flying off. The best thing would be having a leather sheath, maybe a Kydex sheath, even better. I might have Fitson make me one. Put some athletic tape on the back so it wouldn't slide off. It's kind of rubbing off already. I don't think I'm in for any surprises with the use of the camp axe. I think it'll perform well. It's a high energy woods tool. I've always said that. I think it's effective. It's heavy though. So you bring it in on a day packing scenario when you are not planning on using it. You know, it's a lot of weight to carry. What, 2.5 pounds or so? A little bit over 2 pounds. You know, versus a Sawviver and a big old survival knife. I don't know, take your pick. We're gonna give it an honest test right now though. Now some guys will say, hey dude, Nutnfancy, your technique with axes sucks. Well, I say I grew up with axes, swinging them, you know, deer hunting at cabins, a lot of my life. So I think it's as good as anybody else's. And if you have to have such a special technique with an axe, again, that's a big disadvantage to me. In other words, you're saying, well, you need to get special training on how to use that effectively. You know, who's going to do that? I think I can swing it as good as anybody else. Be careful when you swing that axe, too. It's deadly. Any of these woods tools are pretty much deadly if you use them carelessly. You can chop a finger off, cut yourself bad, cut someone else who's by you. Always have that safety perimeter around your axe use. Hopefully I'm in frame here. I want to find out. What's that look like? Can't really tell. Let me move it a little bit closer, dog. First. Here, you go over there, dog. Go on. Go on. Get over. Go on. Good girl. Go on. Sit. Look at the fall on me. I'll tell you, this is going to provide all the wood we need today, dog. Go on. Go on. Sit. Stay. Good girl. Tell you what, this thing can be sharpened. It sucks for being sharp. Trying to notch that. Check the fall. Making progress. All right, there's a nice notch. Now I'll start from the back side. I don't want this thing falling on me, so I gotta triple check that fall in the lean. It's rotten in the middle. Like I said though, dudes, axe is very high energy. Anybody who says otherwise is kidding themselves. Come out and do what I'm doing. You know, 9,500 feet elevation after a long hike with your camp axe. And tell me how much energy it saves you. It does not save you energy. It's high energy, dudes. Good footing. There it goes. Fall line was right about where I thought it'd be. Fell a little bit more to the right, not much. Doable? Yeah, it's doable. You know, I'm not going to say the Sawviver is like energy free. It's all takes energy. And actually, to be honest, this Trail Boss did better than I thought it would. That's a fair sized tree that you saw me working it on. Now I'll do a couple side cuts on it. And then, actually I'll probably cut it in half and then drag it back to camp and start processing it. And reposition this here camera. One nice thing about an axe hatchet is it's really easy to strip the limbs off with. As always, safety's paramount. Wherever you're swinging, should you miss, make sure that's not in the way so this doesn't happen. Always clear the swing path of your axe. It's common sense, really. Nothing so uncommon apparently as common sense though. How about we cut right there? It's like snow let up a bit. Let's put a little bit of our friend on there, Mr. WD-40. By the way, I just re-waterproofed my leather gloves. So glad I did. They were filthy from the last run and gun. Washed them in hot soap and water, dried them, put snow seal on them. Wow, what an anemic spray this thing is. Perfect. Murphy's Law. Can totally failing. Look at that. In the cold. Luckily, I brought another one. That's right. Always bring two of something if it's really important. If you can take it. Oh, that's going to have to do. It's really hard to get nice stable footing where I'm at. I tell you, I'd rather use a saw than this. This is a lot of work. Chopping offhand now because I'm right-handed. This is kind of an awkward hold for me, so I attempt to notch through. That's what I'm trying to do, not notch. Dudes, I'm not going to have much energy for much else after using this axe. It's exhausting. A lot of the tests you see with axes and tomahawks that I've seen at least are conducted in the guy's backyard are in very controlled conditions where the wood is very dry and probably prepped. This is wilderness wood right here. Probably some moisture, probably some sap. Not quite as easy to cut. Dude, that's exhausting. Some guys will say, dude, why are you cutting the log in half? Just burn it. To them, I'll say what I always have. Get out here and try to make a fire in these conditions. High humidity, you're going to get owned. It will not happen. All right, towards the end there, I'm just smacking it. I have no room to angle anymore. High energy, man. Big energy expense to cut through that log. Why cut through the log? About 90% humidity out here. It's been raining and snowing. All the wood is soaked. Your dry wood is in the middle. I know that technique works. I've used it for, a long time. Decades. It just works. Guys who say, well, just grab the wood that's laying around and start a fire out of it. You need to get out more, man. It doesn't happen that easily. Not in these conditions. Snow, rain, forget it. You got to process wood. Get to the dry stuff. That was the cold steel Trail Boss getting through it. As far as axes go, pretty darn good. I think if I put a different grind on it, it would cut a lot more aggressively than it did. Maybe minimize my effort that I just put into it. Which is, again, I can't overemphasize a lot, and it's dangerous. And guys who roll in, maybe some armchair elitists roll in and go, dude, first off, your technique sucks. Second off, I can show you how to do that. Well, make your video, dude. Come up where I'm at. Miles away from any habitat. You're alone in the wilderness, so if you cut yourself bad, you're probably dead. It's that simple. So as I'm cutting this, I'm being real careful. Real careful. It ain't worth cutting yourself over. So that's what dictates my cutting method more than anything on this slope terrain where I went through this log. All right, let's get it back to camp and maybe we'll do some more testing. Well, if you're going to be in these conditions for a long period of time, i.e. several days winter camping, snowshoeing style like I did to get in here. I'm not talking a motorized vehicle, ATVs or snowmobiling. I'm talking human powered adventure for multiple days in harsh snowy conditions like this. It would behoove you to bring a sled, a tow sled, like you saw in my video a long time ago, the Cold Steel Adventure. I have them. I didn't bring one today because I'm not here for that long. The sucky part of that is I have to haul this by hand, whereas before I could process it, throw it on that sled, pull it easily back to camp, and minimize effort. And that's the name of the game in these harsh conditions, is minimizing calorie expenditures, keeping yourself as warm as you can, as dry as you can, and as injury-free as possible. So it's a lot of work though. If you were here with me, you'd know what I'm talking about. Especially a lot of work since I'm a single person and I don't have anybody to film. That's the only downside to not having another person. Oh, I've got an extra MRE. Oh, what do we have in here? A couple of tomahawks too for testing. I'm not going to be any better than that axe, I bet you though. So Trail Hawk, Cold Steel Norse Hawk, Emergency Shelter, and I'm going to test this Buck Nighthawk too. Snow's continuing to fall, and I don't have a lot of daylight to get everything done I want done today. What I'm going to attempt to do is set up my emergency shelter, simulating that I'm stuck overnight. There's a lot of different shelters I can make. I just walked around the perimeter checking out trees and snowdrifts. I could build a snow shelter, cover it with boughs to make a roof, digging deeper with my snow shovel that I always bring in the backcountry with me. And there's several candidates over on that slope. I think what I'm going to do though is set up my emergency shelter. That orange tube tent, the cheesy one I usually bring. I set it up a long time ago and I wasn't impressed, and I don't think I'm going to be impressed with it today. But the thing is, speed will simulate today is paramount, so I can, you know, get shelter from what's happening, the snow coming down. I walked around a bit, and again, not a lot of daylight to find the perfect location, but I think this location will work. There's my pitching trees. I want to pitch it between those two trees, oriented this way. Then I'll build some cord tie-outs with snow stakes after I level the side out a bit with my snow shovel. LL Beam variety with me today, Lexan. And then I'll probably build a fire site over here. No snow boughs to worry about. And that's the game plan. Let's get to it. In the process of doing all that, maybe I can test a few tools, a few knives that I brought with me for processing the firewood. I think that big old log I split with the camp axe, the Trail Boss, I'm going to use as a sitting log, not as a firewood log. There's a lot more standing deadwood over here I can process and go get. And if guys are wondering, I always wear my work gloves when I'm out in the woods. Your other gloves, like your mechanics gloves, you see me in my running guns and stuff with, these ones. They're great, but they'll get soaked very quickly and they'll shred on you. Time to break out the leather gloves with Snow Seal when the work starts. Allie's out there exploring and keeping tabs on what's going on. We got a lot of work to do and a little bit of daylight to do it, so wish me luck. What's that, dog? She probably thinks I'm going somewhere. That's why she's following me. Excuse me, dog. I don't really want to tamp the snow down all the way. It's too much work. Then I'd have to basically go all the way down to the ground. I just want it to be a good base for sleeping. That's my goal. I haven't set one of these up in a long time, so like everything, it's probably going to be a learning experience. And this is what we're talking about. Okay, I always carry one of these or something like it with me. It's a Colgan's tube tent, and like a lot of things in life, it's been cheapened over the years. It's a lot thinner plastic than it used to be. But as opposed to building a lean-to, a snow shelter, maybe a debris shelter of some type, this might be quicker. That's what we're going to test right now. I'm thinking this thing's going to be pretty much disposable because it's going to get holes in it. The best shelter, of course, is going to be a tent. But I don't make it a habit to carry a tent with me on a day hike. Too heavy, too bulky. This, though, is just the right size and weight to have with you at all times. And it blows away a space blanket. A space blanket sucks. I mean, you can't really create dead air space with it. You have to create dead air somehow to stay warm. Otherwise, conduction is going to just take all your body heat away and you're going to be freezing. I'm not going to spend a ton of time making the foundation of this survival shelter perfect. If I was staying here for a lengthy time, I would. And I would find the perfect site, which I said. Again, like everything in the Nutnfancy project, we're always fighting daylight in the wintertime. The camera doesn't film so great after dark. That's the main reason I'm concerned about the daylight. You guys just get crap video out of it. I know, because I've tried. Maybe someday I'll upgrade my technology. Oh yeah! Now if the wind was really kicking up, this would be a fun exercise. As in pretty much impossible without a lot of work, single person. Determine the height that I want it at. Again, if I have steeper, more height, the sides will be steeper. It will tend to shed the snow better. Let's try it right there. Position this. I want to use the cord that it came with to try it out. I have my own cord. I always bring 550 cord or better with me. You'll see that. Let's try out what they brought though, or what they have in the package. How's that look to you dudes? So far so good? Check out Allie. She's no dummy. Chilling out on her snow pad. Just totally endowed. Perfect. Oh, by the way, I have to keep wearing those snowshoes, dudes. If you don't, I'm gonna go post holing through these. I'm probably about on 4.5 feet of snow up here. The extra benefit of doing it is it allows me to tamp down the campsite as I go. Excellent.